Hi ladies and gents, welcome to this new tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how you can do this beautiful, awesome light beams in your picture that brings your photography in a higher level. You will see that it's really easy and it's definitely worth it. However, this processing is only recommended as long as there are light spots on your photo and in order to use this effect effectively. I always find it nice to blend the image effect with a soft, shiny effect, because that gives the image more character. So I hope you will love this tutorial. Keep watching, follow my steps and stay tuned.
Before we start editing, we first need to find out where the highlights in our image are. We go to Select, Tonal Range and select Highlights. All of our highlights in the picture have been selected. In the next step, we duplicate our highlights layer and press Command J. After that, we press Command D to deselect it. What happened? Our highlights are now on a new layer and we can now edit them without affecting the original layer. With the new highlights layer, we are now ready to blur our highlights. We go at the top of the screen to Filters, Blur and Zoom Blur. A new pop-up opens and here I can now adjust the strength of the zoom blur effect as desired. A little tip: you can go far beyond the 100% limit even if it's displayed as a maximum. Simply enter the number of the desired strength manually. I type 700 and then I press enter. Now you can place the light rays where you want them by clicking on the photo. Make sure that the selection is realistic and that the light rays have a natural starting point. Now I go back to my dialog window and confirm. Our light rays now look very smart and weak. We can change that by duplicating the layer a few times with Command J. Now we have a lot of layers here. We all put them together in a group by marking them together and pressing Command G. To make it easier to work with this layer, I rasterize it by right-clicking and rasterize. The light rays are looking good, but they still seem very unrealistic and we want to change that now to more realism. I go to blend modes and switch from normal to screen. In the next step we go to the settings icon and I can move the slider to influence the strength of the light beam. In the field underlying composition ranges I reduce the whole by half. Perfect! In the next step I want to make the light rays in the foreground a bit softer to give the picture even more realism. For this we go to the Live Filters icon and select Gaussian Blur Filter. Now we can change the softness of our light rays. I bring mine to 5 pixels. Looks good, but we don't want to have the entire area of the image with the soft light rays, but only the area in the foreground. We first create a gradient mask. We click on the gradient tool on the left side of our screen. Now we pull our gradient across the picture along the light rays. Make sure that the end point of the light source is set to black and at the other end the point is set to white. The Gaussian blur filter is just visible where the white dot is. In the last step we would also like to give the picture a general brightness curve. We go to Adjustments icon and then to Curves. Now a pop-up opens again. We take the left node and push it up by half. Next we create a second gradient mask so that only one part of the image is filled with this effect. We choose the gradient tool again and draw a diagonal. Now we set the black dot again where the effect should not take effect. You can of course adjust the gradation level as you prefer, but don't forget to pay attention to the lighting conditions of the image. You can also reduce the light beam effect in the image with the mask layer on the effect layer. Don't forget to choose the color black so that the layer underneath appears. You can also use the general opacity at any time to reduce or intensify the effect. Or change the color of your light rays using the overlaid white balance layer. no matter how you decide, you have now really upgraded your good photo again. I hope I was able to help you with this tutorial. If you still have any questions, please write them in the comments. I will be happy to answer them. Until next time.